go. Good afternoon. Welcome. Week 5 of Link to Fast Randomizer Invitational League. Got some pretty familiar, great-looking names here. We've got 2 champions. The lane representing Terranigma is a great game. Facing off versus F. Coughlin for the Bomb Squad. 2 teams I think have been here for League for quite some time. Absolute veterans of the community, absolute great runners. Should be an excellent match, I would say, in this actually very interesting and very creative mode. I am joined, of course, by the one and only Ravis. Tracking for us today, thank you so much, is Winfox. Ravis, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going? I'm good. I'm excited for a very, close match coming up here.
Oh, yeah. If anything, we've seen it from maybe some of the some previous races of this mode earlier this week. Yeah, it has definitely been. Some of them have been close. Some of them have been a bit maybe farther apart. But I mean, I think that's also just by construction, part of actually like how the mode is designed. It actually could be lots of variation in between. And we're actually seeing at the lane and F. Coughlin doing, well, at least Lane doing a map check. Map check is actually probably one of the most important things you actually should do this mode. I actually kind of really like that. Normally, it's just kind of like it's kind of there for you, but the crystals and pendants knowledge is really useful.
And we saw already that Hera is a red crystal, and also the other 2 light world dungeons are the regular pendants. So technically, this is one of the seeds where you have like 2 easy pendants already, depending on what green pendant is. If it's like Thieves Down, for example, you could argue doing those pendants fully and maybe get a second red crystal. Hera is also not a very hard dungeon to beat. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. No, you actually make these are really
Eastern
great
was the
observations.
red crystal. Apologies.
No, it's all good.
I'm not sure anymore. hopefully we're gonna see it once again.
Well, I mean that's why Winfox is here for us today. Okay, this is actually really interesting. The lane actually, I'm not actually sure how common a lumberjack check is actually in this mode. But we are here and we have found a glove that looks that looks like it could be pretty important. Now that being said, though, Rivis, like as you mentioned, right? So one of the most important things we kind of want to know is what our pendants and crystals are based on the goals, and maybe depending on what the ultimate goals you're going to go try for, whether it's going to be pedestal, 5-6 pyramid fairy crystals, or just like the generic 5, we may not even need myths this seed. Potentially. I mean, those could be myths, right? Like we may not have to necessarily beat those for a regular.
Exactly. I mean, it is rather unlikely, but there is still a chance. And
there is.
Knowing what it is, it's somewhat like, okay, you're probably gonna need it. So I would say we are gonna see the lane pretty early in the dark world. I mean, in the end, you need it still either to go the mountain if you don't get the flute, or need it to finish desert, or there's so many like areas where I need a glove anyway. So I feel like we're gonna see that glove regardless.
Yeah, and of course that knowledge, I think, right, Fred, I believe actually, I want to say that Fred skipped it, right? So he may not necessarily be, he may not necessarily be rushing that Aga access, maybe as fast as the lane goes. But like this mode.
Yeah, what's even more unlucky is like you could argue to check Aga when you go up the mountain with the glove, but unluckily the glove is up there. So there's only a smaller chance that he gets another glove to, go up the mountain or even find the flute.
Oh yeah.
Before checking that.
Yeah, it looks like, all right, well, we actually got some good amount of goodies here in Kakariko, and it's like in this mode, right? So maybe just for those of you who may haven't seen, okay, we got a nice hook shot as well. So coupled with that glove, maybe we can actually get some nice more mountain access. So this mode, this is like the mode of the week for League. You may actually notice that Triforce counter up the very top right. It is technically a Triforce hunt plus defeat Ganon. It is fast game, so we don't have to climb the tower. In fact, we can't actually climb the tower because the GT big key is removed from the pool. The 3 available Triforce pieces that you need 2 out of are at pedestal, which means you need to get to the 3 pendants. It is at the 5-6 pyramid fairy, so you need 2 the 5-6 crystals, or in GT basement, and GT opens with 5 crystals total. So kind of depending on what items you find, or what paths you take, maybe what decisions you end up making, you could get some very drastically different goals, basically, for our runners here.
Yeah, and meanwhile, we found not only on the bottle mentioned an actual bottle, but also on the ticket was the Eastern big key already. So that is one piece of the puzzle for that crystal.
Yeah, no, that's actually great. Yeah, and then you mentioned, right, so like especially in this case, 5-6 crystal is it's probably one of the most valuable things that you can actually have in this mode, because again, right, you need either 5-6 crystals for the pyramid fairy for Triforce Waste outright, or you need some number of crystals, right, in order to enter GT. So the fact that, you know, we have 5-6 crystal here in Eastern is a very early access, low bar entry in terms of dungeons. Plus, in this case, we have both like world dungeons as pendants as well, right?
Ooh,
So
nice
kind of
hammer
depending,
there.
yeah. Ooh, okay, that's probably something that we want, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, dude, we have no magic, and we have nothing to fake powder with. I'm so sad. We can't check magic that. Oh no.
Yep.
Okay, this is another reason to start as Uncle.
Well, so,
you get the free pots.
What you could do is try the stun price. Like if you find a guard in a bush, for example, or you go to CAC, you know, talk to one of the villagers, he gets your guard, and then try the stun price there.
Oh, dude, that's heads up thinking. I absolutely approve of this method. This is actually one of like the one fewer times where you actually probably
you could
want
even.
some.
Oh, there's the other glove.
Oh, there's the other glove. Oh my god. Oh well, Fred may not be seeing that glove on Lumberjack, or I guess it'd be missed now anytime soon. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, talking about the chances
this is
on,
hilarious,
you know,
yeah.
getting a lower chance for another glove, and then it's literally in Link's house.
Yeah. All right. Well, so this actually could be a really fast like Darkhold entry. So we actually do see that Fred is actually going to a Sphere 1 location, Sphere 0, which is the front of Escape. Probably one of those more contentious locations in open modes, right? When do you end up going to the front of Escape? It's so early. You know, the more you put it off, probably the less likely you're going to go there anytime soon. I mean, just because you're gonna get Dark World X, you're gonna get more stuff open up to you. But actually, I kind of seen though in this mode, and this could just be observational bias, is seems like the front of Escape is actually pretty valuable here, at least in this mode. We've seen a lot of goodies here that have basically won people races because, you know, one person checked the front of Escape and one person didn't.
Yeah, Fred wants to check the other triple. Probably hope for some bombs, even though he don't need them now, but he will want to go to South Run next, and you know,
yeah,
wants to find some bombs before going there later.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. They should do like Fred's rupee count as well. Very, very timely. All right, let's see what's in Mini Moldorm Cave here for the lane. Nothing else really to write home about so far. That is a terrible Mini Moldorm Cave.
I mean, to be fair, right? To be fair, we are looking for something like a Moon Pearl, basically, to get Dark World access, or a lamp to go logically up the mountain. So it's like there's one item, whatever it is, pretty much can like open an entire area right now, since we have the hammer and the hook shot and the gloves. Like, we're somewhat missing logic, and you know, we could go on the mountain as well. Ooh, be careful there. Oh, nice magic now from the crab.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, that's actually pretty good information as well. So actually,
yeah, I was thinking about what drop that is, but it's a different one than the guards. Never mind.
Yeah, is it the match? Is it the arrow price pack or the rupee price? I don't know. Is it the second one? I think the second one.
That one. I don't remember. But it's whatever.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna ask you, Ravis, like, would you be tempted at all to go up the mountain right now, with the glove and hook shot? I mean, we don't have lamp or flute, but would you be tempted at all to get up there?
I think I want to know what green pendant is, and I think that's why I might check Saha.
Oh,
because like
okay.
if I see that's like Thieves down there, or even Skullwood, something like that, then I can see myself going up the mountain and already doing Hera.
Oh, it's a great. Oh, right. We also have we actually have the I was gonna say not the bug net. We actually do have the hammer as well, so we could in fact actually take the long way over to Hera. Yeah. Or we can even be more fortunate and maybe just find a mirror, let's say, you know, up on the mountain somewhere, and then our lives will be significantly nicer.
Yeah, so the lane for now is gonna skip Zora. Zora is in logic. We checked all the other water checks, besides the Zora ledge as well. But gonna see, maybe Hobo has something interesting for us.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, that is not uninteresting.
that is not uninteresting. You are correct. Oh yeah. And you know, again, you know, depending on maybe what Meyer and Turtle Rock are, and maybe even if GT Basement is, or at least the right side is Nessa the Cane Lock, we may not necessarily need, although, you know, certainly it is very, very helpful, you know, for other dungeons that are not just specifically like the endgame ones.
Yeah.
Right. So judging by the fact that Fred is here in trying to get to Dark Cross. We have ethered everything. This is actually really nice play on by Fred's side. Not have to track down the key rats. There's going to be here. Looks like some sort of item in the back. We actually confirmed on the lane side. There was a map and small key in the back.
Yeah, Fred checked all the front. He didn't find anything, so he saved and quitted instead of death warping because it was pretty much a 50-50 chance to either have the key or the map or one of the two items. And yeah, the lane is gonna check it from the front, which makes him. Ooh, that was Bombos, I think.
That looked like Quake. Yeah, it looked like Quake.
But yeah, the lane is gonna death warp and probably gonna get the item afterwards. And the lane, in theory, has the advantage. In his case, if that would be a cape or a master sword, he could check Aga too, if he wanted to get like mids early. But,
that's actually a good point. Right? Yeah, but kind of like as we saw on Fred's side, there's no dark there's Aga entry so far, no cape, and no second sword. Man, if it were possible, I don't know if the lane would be willing in this case to do Aga completely in the dark, but that being said, I believe he is capable of it. So we actually and he knows what's behind Lumberjack, as you mentioned, right? So might be very tempted.
Yeah, so but I'm sure the lane is gonna check that Dark Cross as well, even like knowing that there could be a chance that he can do Aga. And I'm sure with 8 hearts and blue mail having ether as well, blue cane, like he's pretty much equipped. I think even a red goo. So but I mean it's not gonna matter. But from his perspective to why he might continue even in Dark Cross.
Yeah, and even though that like this death warp might be a little bit on the slower side because he does have blue mail, so the green guard, right next to the ball and chain guard, he always does half a heart of damage to you. So again, it's not. Yeah. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no! Oh my gosh! Did you see this death warp? Okay, I think. Oh, we got
that is a very nice bow.
Yeah, that is a lamp lock bow, actually. So, I mean, granted, the lamp doesn't have to show up that early, but that is definitely one very viable dungeon that we can go to pretty much immediately. And it's really great, right, too. And as we mentioned, 5-6 crystals are extremely valuable in this mode. And the fact that Eastern it's fully dippable by all accounts and standards, even the Eastern skippers, we can actually go in and finish up this dungeon.
Wait, the lane. Do you really want to kill him?
Okay.
Well, we have 2 bombs. I guess we have 2 bombs. That's okay.
It looks like
I guess that's more like a safety measurement.
Yeah.
Yeah, being completely safe here. And now he gets a refill. That would be.
Oh no!
That
would be so mean. Well, we do have a bug net. That's also still pretty nice to see. I mean, granted, these probably guys won't necessarily need looking at basically what their current health situation is now. Still never hurts in order to have a back pocket fairy retrieval item. Kind of like at your disposal, especially for end game. Keep in mind we do have to go beat Ganon, so maybe depending on like what the sword situation is, for example, it actually may come in handy.
Yeah, and Fred making me look like a fool because I said I would have gone Saha to check green pendant. He gets the bow, got the Eastern big key earlier, and now he's gonna do it all together with the Eastern. He's not gonna check green pendant.
I was gonna say, did he not talk to Fred? Okay,
that is very interesting. Okay.
I guess we're just gonna wait till Dark World to find out.
if the Moon Pearl turns up here, right? Like if that tells me Potter's green pendant, I might just go for it because like. I can't fully check the dungeon right now, right? But I have the bow. It's like 5 items. Maybe I don't even want to finish the dungeon then. But okay, whatever. We're gonna wait with the knowledge of the Dark World right now. But the lane is going to go here, and he's potentially or probably gonna double dip Eastern Palace here.
Or as you mentioned, this actually just could be a straight like Saha check.
Oh my god, there's a second bow in Eastern. You gotta be kidding me.
Oh my god. Everyone's got their faces covered in this case. Oh, that was a very quick predicament.
Was just about to say he might be screwed double dipping Eastern here, unfortunately, and then.
Well, it looks like we're not going to Eastern quite yet, though. On the lane side, saving Woody, we got 300 from Saha, and we have the mushroom. Looks like the lane's just going to turn in immediately.
That it sounds ridiculous, but it turns out for this seed, this was actually the worst decision to save and quit there. I can't believe I'm saying that. But it's like not going to the mountain is one thing, which you can argue to do. I mean, you can also not argue to do it. But
I mean, but
it's also very unfortunate for him. It's like I feel like it's the right play to do, but unfortunately, this one it's the wrong play to do.
Well, I mean, he can always go back to Eastern, right? I mean,
Yeah,
he has the mountain to
good,
do.
you know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, it's right. So, I mean, or maybe he can find a faster way back there. You know, like the flute. Okay, like you know, we'll just go get the flute and just yeah. Look, the Lane's been playing this game, you know, since since certainly before my time. I feel like he might have some experience in terms of rando.
And
it
turns out Fred is gonna skip that one item or the one check.
Oh my gosh, dude. This, I mean, no, this is so great. You know, I really love seeing basically some of the unexpected things. I don't know, you know, what the meta is for, you know, skipping Eastern Bicky chest here in, I guess, in this particular mode, but it's always really cool to see in this case if their gamble's gonna pay off.
All right, looks like this is a feel-good seed. It doesn't matter how you treat Eastern area or if you leave Eastern area, you go mountain first. Like you're gonna get treated well. So.
Oh yeah. We love bows or big keys in Eastern Palace. Opinion may not necessarily shared by all. All right, it looks like the Lane's gonna activate his flute.
Finally,
we're gonna get a magic bat check. Right? Yeah. This was super early, right? Powder was in Kakariko, I think, behind the well. We had the hammer on Maze Race. The only thing is we didn't have the magic, so we could not necessarily actually see what this one is. Fred had a party with Armos, but you know what? We are rewarded with a big key to Swamp Palace.
Yeah, and he successfully skipped the map, so good on him on this side. Taking off a minute here.
Yeah, I'm right, and especially like, I mean, okay, maybe certainly depending on the situation, you know, we've seen some seeds that are just like blazing fast, right? Probably like sub-hour. I mean, and of course, maybe it depends on the goal, right? So if you only have to do 5 dungeons, for example, you know, that's you certainly don't need a full hour to do so. And so if you can actually take off like a minute, I mean, it is very, very meaningful.
I wonder what the Lane is gonna think now when he finds the bow. Is like, oh, thankfully I didn't dip Eastern and just
we're gonna.
And then he's got his bow, a second bow, and Eastern's like, oh my god, what is happening?
Oh yeah. Part of the reason I kind of actually would really like to see some webcams on these guys, just again, like just see kind of some of the reactions here for when they end up discovering items. I think this one would be quite fun. All right, but looks like the Fred's gonna kind of retrace some of the Lane's steps earlier from South Shore. He is actually in a better position though, just because he went to Saha before South Shore. The Lane was very, very poor. When he ended up going over to like Ice Rod Cave and opted in this case to do Hobo, kind of like to end his route, Fred's gonna have the option to check Zora. Now that being said, of course, we did find Kana Samari on Hobo, so if Fred, I mean, this money in order to go check Zora might be, you know, both a blessing and a curse. So.
I wonder how the Lane is gonna treat this now, because with the knowledge of where the mids are, I don't know. Do you really want to go East Death Mountain soon, or do you?
Oh, you're saying you want to put it off?
Yeah,
like until
maybe
mids?
wait for a second sword or something.
We don't have a pearl, and we don't have a lamp, and we don't have a second sword. I don't know. Like, if we seem to be missing a lot of stuff in order to try and combo.
I feel like that's why he's doing Eastern right now, and that's actually what I suspected. Because like, you can find a second sword or a lamp or whatever exactly here, right? And I feel like it is worth doing the Aga Tower here if you feel like it's necessary, because like if you have like Ice Palace is gonna be an easy dungeon regardless, like, right? You don't need a big key.
For sure.
So like even if it's like green pendant, like you can argue to do the pendants in this seed, and if it's a regular crystal or even a red crystal, then you want to do it regardless. So
yeah, I'm actually really glad of
some good arguments to make to do Aga and the Dark in this seed. And that I know having his silver arrows.
Yeah, it's like, really funny game. I'm actually really glad also that you brought up specifically Ice Palace as an example for the Lane, because I fully expect to see him once he picks up his mitts and any type of fire Ice Palace entry, whether that's the Fire Rod or Bombos. I expect him to be there, especially with the Kana Samaria, right? That is a very powerful item in order to make Ice Palace go very quickly.
For sure. So we're gonna see on Fred's side what Zora is gonna have.
Oh yeah,
which is
yeah. It
going to
definitely
be
looks
very
like.
interesting.
Actually, yeah. So the lane actually skips Zora Ledge too, right?
Yeah.
Like we didn't get anything. Okay, yeah. So this is gonna be also another check for us. Yeah. Well, Fred. Well, okay. I think he can get it right if he wants to. He's got arrows and bombs.
He got, but he also beat Armos, and that sometimes you have
Oh,
to
good
like
point.
do the. But it's nothing.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
But
good
the
point.
lane would have had it easier because like he has the Cane of Samaria, and you can just place the Cane to already eliminate one of the.
Oh,
one of the
okay.
things
Okay.
just
Good to
by
know. Good
placing
to
the
know.
Cane. So that would be even easier. Let's see. Oh, that's another bottle only. So it looks like East Death Mountain is the answer to the Moon Pearl. Or
Yeah.
Agina, potentially.
Or oh, that's right, we do have Gina. So whether or not the lane meant to just go straight to the big key locked door, like to the back, and he got stopped by some Stalfos, and so then he just kind of walked over, and then I guess like hobbled over to the right. So we are going to get a.
Unlucky.
He's gonna pick up his map. Yeah, but looks like Fred's gonna kind of cover here. Yeah, he's gonna give us the rest of the check. Yeah, so right now, Fred did do the correct, well, in this case, the correct situation to do Eastern Palace. He saved himself a minute by not checking here, which is going to be the map for us. The thing that Fred doesn't know that the lane does and or has is that he does not have the King of Samaria off of Hobo, and he does not know about the myths that are sitting on Lumberjack. So I think right now he's just kind of, breezing along and trying to go find his Moon Pearl. Deline's also doing that, but he has a bit more knowledge. and as you mentioned, the prospect of basically doing maybe even Aga, like, just rushing Aga as soon as we get some semblance, basically, of knowledge, maybe, for what we can see in the Dark World, actually can be a very big advantage for the lane.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's depending on now where the Moon Pearl is, because, like, we're running out of locations soon. There's Hera left, there's Spiral Cave left, there's Agina left, but other than that, I think pretty much seen every other location for now. And like Hera only has 2 checks, and who knows if we even, we might not even get a small key there.
Yeah, well, right. We don't have a fire source either for the
we can go upstairs for sure, but it's like
oh, but that's out of logic, right?
Yeah.
Because we don't have the big key. Yeah, exactly. I mean, right. We have the means of getting upstairs, because we have the hook shot, and especially at this stage, for both these guys, I'm very sure that they can get up to Hera without any trouble, given the hook shot. But yeah, just keep in mind that logically though, like it's looking less likely that is gonna have a pearl. It's very possible, for example, that Agina has her big key to Hera, and then we have to come back up here actually for the pearl. But it's it's looking less likely.
Yeah.
All right, that is Eastern done for the lane.
That is.
Oh, there is a mirror. That is.
Wait,
what does that open up?
Nothing. Okay.
Nothing.
Was something on Spectacle Rock Cave? That's the only thing that is there.
Oh right. Do we actually get eyes on that? I know did they go up there?
Half magic.
Well, these are really good items that have come out of Hera, but I don't think they have been helping.
And interesting. So Fred is deciding to do the pendant. I mean, I agree with that decision. Let's get that Hera
as soon as we get up there, we're gonna Moldorm's not gonna know what hit him. Or
see, I understand that hook speeding is the fastest way to do Herapod, but that is what it feels like all the time. Like I'm sure Fred is doing that usually on the spot, but it's like for me it's like super inconsistent, so I go with bump methods.
Yeah. Well, there's I think people have probably like 20 different ways of setting up a Herapod in this case. I guess maybe you can just do whatever you're familiar and or comfortable with. But but the important part is that Fred got up here, and we found expectedly a non-useful item given, just like basically the loadout of the first floor. Helene is really struggling with this mini Moldorm, as what did Fred. All right, see, Moldorm is absolutely no match for Fred once he got up here. We have a
shield.
Vital shield. Okay, well, we do have a swamp care package. We have the shield and we have the mirror, so.
Well, the thing is, right, the remaining item in here must be the map, right?
We saw the map in the compass chest. Or
then
yeah,
it's the compass. That is
it's the compass in the basement, right? Yeah, that's right. We got
either
3
in the
items.
basement or in the big chest, and the small keys in its own.
Oh,
chest.
true. Yeah, good point.
But that's only a okay. Well, that's not it. Okay, do we get a dark world check here? You have to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Finally, it's
Right.
oh my god, it's green pennant turtle rock.
Oh.
That is literally the last dungeon.
Yeah, that's not one that you want to see. There's a reason why, you know, there are ice rod hunts exist, because you get kind of unlucky or lucky for whatever your perspective is. You got to go find that ice rod, and there's probably a reason why it happens so frequently. What was the other 5? Okay, Wind Fox is already marked. It's Skull Wiz. That's the other 5/6. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah, the red crystal is gonna be easy.
Mm-hmm. As soon as we get the fire rod, it's gonna be piece of cake.
I mean, there's still a chance that so there's still a chance we're gonna see Turtle Rock, right? Because like we have the Turtle Rock big already, and we need a couple of big keys, right? We need either we can do Eastern, we can do Skull Woods, and we can do Ice without the big keys, right? That's like 3 crystals. So we would need either a Pod Thieves or a Meyer big key as well, like 2 out of them.
That's a lot of stuff, though.
That can be very specific, and like suddenly you have an ice rod, suddenly you have a fire rod, and you can just do the pendants and finish the game.
Yeah. Right. I mean, and I guess like on the one hand, ice rod doesn't have to show up until never. On the other hand, ice rod could just show up, right? And it looks like we're probably gonna have to go find a fire rod anyway. And then all of a sudden, as you mentioned, we also have the Turtle Rock big key.
Oh wait, what was the Moon Pearl in Spiral Cave?
It was in Spiral Cave, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was the last thing.
Still not having his flute, then that is
yeah, that's right. I forgot to mention that earlier. Right. So Thelaine, after saving quitting out of Saha, he turned in the mushroom immediately, and was he rewarded. He was rewarded with that flute on the in the potion shop. So Thelaine has the flute over Fred. He has the Cane of Samaria, which was at Hobo, over Fred, and he has the Myths knowledge, which is on Lumberjack, over Fred.
I wonder if Fred is gonna go to Pyramid Ledge and check the mushroom on the way, because like he knows he's out of logic right now, and he still has that mushroom. But then for him it could also be the powder or Agina.
Oh yeah, good point.
It looks like we're gonna go to village first. All right.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that. So when Fred went up the mountain with the glove, out of logic, right? He was right by like the entry point to the old man cave, and he also did not check Lumberjack. So I mean, he might have more incentive now, as you mentioned, because he should know that he is out of logic. But I'm just saying, like at that time as well, he was also not shopping Lumberjack.
So yeah, I mean, as long as these guys are moving through the dark world, it's not too much of a difference, but the lane will still have some advantage just by having the flute. Like if we find a Port Bicky at some point and maybe a fire rod or even the lamp, then fluting to 5 is just faster to go than any other way possible.
For sure. Yeah, and it's just kind of like those situations, right? Where as you mentioned, right? So especially in a situation in seas like this, where it's not it's very less of a completionist mode type of situation. All of your overworld travel is going to add up, right? Meyer, we never probably have to ever see Meyer defeated as a crystal. Like none of the stuff in the Meyer area has to be logically required. But having that flute, especially so early, the lane's gonna get a lot of time. nice bush pickup.
Yeah, and Fred is doing his message as always in the digging game.
Hi.
Saying hi to everybody. Just for $20.
Yeah, not worth it. Especially when we've passed up like the arrow game as well. All right, so we're here back in Village of or in Kakariko. Looks like we're gonna go straight over to presumably, as you mentioned, right, Village of Outcasts. Probably do the front 4 of that. We have no big key to Thieves Town so far. Oh, this is gonna be one of Fred's checks. Right, I forgot about this. He hasn't done this yet. Yeah, so pretty interesting. I mean, given the differences in terms of what the lane and Fred both know, I think right now, especially for probably like this, it looks like both runners at least are trying to go for more higher density value plays. It just happens to be that in this case, the lane has a little bit more extra knowledge. And again,
stayed in logic for a little bit longer.
Yeah,
he waited to see if he gets Dark World access, if he gets like flute in his case. or you know, it could have been a lamp as well, which makes sense because like he was thinking about Hera as well, probably, and logically there could have been an item, maybe is even no wait, we know that there's no item there anymore, but yeah, it could have been an item there that is in logic needed, so he made the safer play, if you want to call it like that, and was, you know, rewarded with the flute.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. And again, you know, so this is randomizer. You know, you cannot control where the items are placed. You know, again, we're gonna see in this case if Fred having his 500 rupees, you know, for Zora in order to be able to make that check, is going to be, you know, it was gonna be for his benefit or, you know, for to his misfortune, because, well, we know that Hobo has Kena Samaria. Unsure when and if the flippers will turn up. I mean, so if the flippers don't turn up, right, Fred may never get the, you know, go visit Hobo because, you know, again, maybe it's not, you know, it's, and one, it's a bad check, but also two, is not logical. But, you know, still, like, it'd be very interesting, basically, to see in this case how things turn out. All right, we have actually very, you know, different in terms of dungeon desires, both on Fred and the lane side. Admittedly, I might have expected the lane to be his goal was a little bit faster than Fred, but here we are. We are both here, or presumably at least Fred is, without the fire rod. But of course, given where the Eastern bow was, I would not be surprised if fire rod basically would just show up here.
Yeah, and I just realized, like, you were talking about the flippers, right? And I just realized what we know definitely is that the flippers are not going to be in GT, since we have two, like, both water dungeons are crystals, and we also had the Cane of Samaria on Hobo, which means Maya is also a crystal.
Yeah, good thinking.
And with that, we can't have the flippers in GT. Sorry.
Using logic, thanks, Travis. This is good practice, you know. We're trying to figure out, you know, what we have here.
It makes like you can predict more things to what can happen, what not. It doesn't help you in the end, but you know, you can like have under control what's happening.
I think it would be very interesting to kind of, you know, maybe try and like maybe hedge your bets a bit. You know, again, one of the things that maybe I've actually seen, you know, people more so like in this mode, one of the hesitancies or you know, again, maybe you want to try and like hedge your decisions is to, you know, at what point do you kind of go and complete a dungeon. I think for Fred to finish Hera, as you mentioned before, when he was there at the time, it was pretty pragmatic. You know, just because it takes forever to get there. We didn't know when the mirror was coming, right? We were already in the basement. May as well just Hera pot up and, like, you know, take something, right?
And you know what's super funny? You know what's super funny about that?
What's that?
Remember Fred bombing Saha? He could have seen that Turtle Rock as a pendant. I wonder if he would have decided differently if he's seen that Turtle Rock as a pendant.
That is very interesting. All right, we can ask him about this. Like, if we get the chance to talk to him afterwards. You're right, though. I mean, because when we saw the map check, basically, you know, on Fred's side, we were like, oh my gosh, like that's a terrible green pendant. we had such high hopes basically for finishing the seed pretty quickly. All right. Okay. Did we find anything, by the way, in the front of Thieves Town? I saw them. Okay, we saw the map just now on Fred's side. I saw the compass, I think, at the very end. So I'm assuming it's no. We have not found anything good.
Right.
Okay.
Because like the lane wasn't these.
Yeah.
But I don't think we found anything of importance yet in neither of the checks.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah, I think just kind of the lane's gonna get there also in terms of heart or health.
Did I see that right? Like the lane started in Village and Fred started in Sky Woods, and now they go like the opposite ways.
That's correct.
One is going south or one is going north.
Yeah, it looks like it. So I guess my question though is, well, okay, so I'm assuming both are gonna kind of converge in North Dark Worlds. I'm actually not sure which way is faster.
Oh, you don't have a key and you have a mirror, right?
All right.
All right. Now you have a key. All right.
I'm trying to actually think if Fred actually did the vanilla big key chest here in
Fred is going north as well. I thought he's gonna go south. Oh wait, he
already did south, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right, we checked Bumper Ledge. We are also not heading further north. We are gonna go to Graveyard Ledge. Yeah. This is again this. It might be a little bit of a time before maybe Fred gets his eyes on Lumberjack.
well, to be fair, he might get his flute soon though.
True. And actually, this does look like, right? Yeah, this definitely looks like with the mirror, right? We can actually get kind of like all of the North Dark World and the more isolated locations of like Graveyard Ledge, Kingstone, presumably, and then Mushroom turning into Catfish. Yeah, so it actually looks like it's gonna be a pretty nice route for Fred. At least, very efficient.
I mean, we're gonna see Kingstomb here in a moment. That could be something else. But really, there's not much that would help us. I mean, Flippers would give us, Flippers would give us Swamp, I guess, and the Cane of Samaria. But, the Cane of Samaria will only come into play as soon as we have mids, since everything that is requiring the Cane is logically mislocked.
Yeah. Where's this fire source, right? I mean, I think for Fred, he would be pretty happy to see the lamp, because I think it would, put a lot of things for him probably back into logic. Because again, like he doesn't know where the flute is. I mean, he'll find the flute at least here, assuming he does turn in the mushroom.
He's going.
But at least, yeah. Oh, look at that! Look at we got a current jump as well. This might be a bit high, maybe. Although if it is, then
use your silvers.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that high, but I also know there's multiple pixels that work. But
yeah, I do remember actually. I think you have a little mini life lesson. I'm not sure what it was, but there was a tutorial for it. And I also remember being very surprised at like the number, like which pixels actually ended up working for current jump. It was very, like sporadic and seemingly random.
That was, but what I can say, if you want to have a backup there, and you missed the jump once, so what you can do is like watch your timer, and at the full second you pull the bomb and pick it up, and after exactly 2 seconds you just hold right, and then you'll be good with your timer, and then you switch down.
Cool.
It's like on the 51 I plant the bomb and pick it up, and then on 53 I just hold right.
Nice.
It's like a pretty simple way to
as your backup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but like both, definitely though, kudos though to both Fred and the lane though. I mean, these guys know basically how to bypass, I would say, the pretty pliable requirements, right? Typically you can't actually get over here without the flippers, but that's not going to stop these guys from being efficient.
So yeah, I mean, finally Fred got his flute, not activated yet, but we're still
that looks like fish. Yeah.
Yeah, we're still missing something like... okay, what do we have left? We have Pyramid left? We have Agina left?
We have Agina.
We have some stuff in Pod, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. We do have Pod.
Oh,
ooh, look at the lane! Nice. Look at the lane! Look, see, this, I mean, it does show, how experienced he is in terms of basically doing stuff like this. We don't need no flippers.
Yeah, unfortunately, the lane is gonna isolate. Oh, that is.
Oh no, I don't know if he. Well, he'll be fine. I mean, like we did see that there was nothing on the ledge. I don't think that he knew at the time. He was probably a bit annoyed, but yeah, everything's fine.
But yeah, again, Fred gives us a new check on Pyramid Ledge, and that could be very interesting.
Yeah, same. Yeah, but yeah, because as you mentioned, I was even trying to think of the other locations we even have left to our disposal. Like, we don't have very many things left.
Yeah.
We know where the myths are, so a lot of the Dark World is actually locked out to us at the time. And still, we don't have logical... We have a third bottle. Yeah, we have no logical Aga access right now. Like, we don't have a cape
at all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have no cape, we have no lamp, we have no sword. Other than the one that we started with, but that is not sufficient.
Oh, we have Spike Cave. Ooh, half magic, 5,000 bottles, and a blue cane. Let's go.
We do in fact have the bug net, yes. Yeah, but this is also a good point. Yeah, we're definitely going to some pretty different directions here between Fred and the lane. As you mentioned, yeah. So Fred's gonna go check out Pod. Pod is how many? We don't have a lamp, but I mean, again, it's not gonna stop Fred. But I think in terms of, as you mentioned before, logical implications might end up kind of giving us some more knowledge here on what's gonna happen. Watch this be the lamp, though.
if that is, that would be so annoying. No, it's not, because like
it is 10 arrows.
Cave, Spiral Cave had your moon pile. How do you ever get back to Spike Cave, man? That's so awful.
All right, where's the lane going? He's pulling out the flute. Is this going to be a flute to 5?
Are we going to see Agina, or...
Yeah, it could be Agina.
We're going to see Agina.
All right, what do you think is here, Avis? Sword?
Oh, well,
that was a sword? Okay.
Yeah, that was a sword. And that
okay. Can we get that right now? I guess we can't. Well,
No.
I guess we can. We have a bit. We
would
can get a
need to
book.
do Aga.
Well, we can get a book here and then go in and then that's our logical access or whatever. It's something else in desert,
I
presumably.
mean, we still. Oh, is that? Oh,
Ooh.
it's these. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's the lamb.
Okay. All right. Well, that is our logical. Okay, Riv, are you going to Aga right now with that lamp? Oh, we still have, no. We still need a cave. Yes. Oh no.
But I mean, isn't that interesting? Sphere 0, both the logical mountain accesses are available. You know, with the flute and the lamp. Like, you think you got the flute, you think you got the logical stuff, and it's like double.
Oh, but this knowledge is like super interesting because actually, so that means that actually puts all of pod in logic for us. I mean,
Yeah,
it looks like
we big chest, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, I was referring to specifically dark rooms. But yeah, so we don't have the pod big key, so we can't get to the big chest or helmet itself.
Well, you say that, and we're gonna pull.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. What was I thinking? This is pod we're talking about here, actually. So.
I mean, there's still a chance, right, that we can get like 5 crystals, including the 2 red crystals, without the mids. Like, we can. There's a chance that we're never gonna see those mids still, and then we have like Master Sword Go mode, which would be funny if we find the cave with the knowledge of the desert ledge. But there's a chance that we never find use those mids. Because we got the Thieves Town big, right? We only need the pot big and the fire rod. And I guess flippers.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, right, like our fixation, you know, on the mids it's like potentially likely, right? You know, just because of the mids like locking so much, but again, like it's also potentially not required because you know, can basically depend on what else we find here.
Like, I would be seriously interested to see if like the lane gets everything to do the crystals and knows where one sword is, but it's behind Aga and he gets the cave. I wonder if if he would do Aga or check all the miss checks and maybe go even GT or something to check for a second sword. I don't know what's the correct decision there. Because like when he gets mids, he can do the desert ledge and then get his master sword in theory, but it's like, yeah. Let's see, we're gonna get some more darkroom action. There's the cape. We have Aga.
Oh, wow, nice. Okay, are you arching Aga now?
I guess you do. I mean, so for now the seed said if you think something is not possible, like the lamp is not accessible, it is, right? If I say now we definitely need those mids, then probably, you know, the flippers and the pot big are actually available and we don't need them. But I think with the knowledge of where the master sword is, it's still a rather easy call.
Yeah. Oh, especially on the lane side. Right, so the lanes right now, I mean, in addition, of course, having the Cane of Samaria, you know, as an actual, like, physical item over Fred, because he did Hobo earlier, but that myth's knowledge that the lane still has over Fred is looking to be coming into play here. Because, I mean, like, Fred probably is going to take, looks like, yeah, he's starting at Sanctuary, probably going to go into Thieves Town, going to go and
will we do, will we check Aga now?
He's got that flute out. It doesn't look like he's going north, so.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, but he's gonna find the lamp real quick and probably knows by default that it's gonna be an Aga seed.
Yeah. I mean, what is also looking like is, you know, because the mids are on Lumberjack, you know, and I'm just looking at the number of locations that are kind of still available to Fred, like after Thieves Town. Looking is running pretty thin, you know, so maybe he'll just kind of get funneled into Lumberjack and Aga.
And that can be a pretty bad thing for Fred now, right? Because I can see the lane just going Aga and taking the mids, and first of all, he has the quicker access, right? Because like Fred is right now doing the longer way, but not only that, like the lane could do the Smith chain afterwards as well, which Fred can't do right now. So there could be like already either it could go in both directions, like either the lane, you know, wasting some time there doing the Smith chain potentially afterwards, or Fred missing an item on the Smith chain, which might get if he decides to do Smith chain. But yeah, I mean, in general, clearing Thieves on here makes total sense for Fred.
Yeah,
with a
and
node,
you know,
yes.
yeah, we're also, I mean, we're also still like missing a good number of items, even
Ooh.
just for go mode. What's up?
And look at the lane. He's looking towards Pyramid Ledge, and if he's going Pyramid Ledge now, surely he's gonna do
Oh,
Aga
you're
afterwards.
right. Yeah. Oh, this is actually really interesting. You know, I'm trying to actually think if I'm gonna assume this is faster because the lane is doing this. Very NMG-esque, of course, being able to run out of pod and go somewhere else. But of course, I don't know if saving quitting is faster. But I mean, yeah, you're
I
absolutely
would
correct though.
think no, not saving quitting, but maybe mirroring and fluting to 5. But I don't know. I think I'm totally fine with that. If you're
Yeah,
still
yeah. I
like
mean,
that,
all
you're
this
just gonna
was
run
really
out and go
good.
with it.
Oh yeah, no, this is very this I think this is very efficient for the lane. He ended up getting all of his Aga access. He may not necessarily even want to commit potentially
Oh, don't
to.
jump down there. Oh god,
I think that
that
would
is
be
so scary.
it would be hilarious. Good thing the lane is skillful enough to stop his dash right
But,
before the
but you know
hole.
what'd be funny? You know what'd be funny?
Uh,
The quickest way back would actually be to die to Ganon.
oh, you're right.
So you spawn up there
Yeah,
again,
you just
and you
have
can be.
to. Yeah, and I think the lane does not have. Yeah, they have an empty bottle from Zora, and they have a bottle with red potions. Yeah, so you don't have to wouldn't have to worry about fairy revival. That's hilarious, Ruben.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but I
it'll be
really do like
interesting
this.
to see if Fred is gonna find something like the flippers here. I mean, probably the more, if not all things, would be behind the mids. You would assume at this point. But Randall can be very, very, very sneaky by just giving other items and delaying Aga in that process. But sometimes for the good things, sometimes for the bad things. Gonna
Yeah,
see if
yeah.
there's something in Thieves Town still.
Yeah, and of course, yeah, and as you mentioned, like there just could be something here in the back of Thieves Town. We not necessarily need the crystal. I mean, we're probably gonna get it at this point, regardless. Probably both on the lane and Fred's side. Fred's gonna certainly be the first one to get it, but like if let's say there's a fire rod back here, right? That could certainly be something, and give Fred some more direction and more distraction before basically heading up to Aga, which is where the lane is. Alright, but let's see in this case if there was anything interesting. Nothing so far.
Oh my god.
Ravis, you have
Oh my god.
blessed or cursed Fred even more. We are not going to Lumberjack and Aga. We are gonna go, as you mentioned, probably to Swamp.
I can't believe that happened.
Oh dear.
I mean, if he really finds the pot big and the fire rod and the sword,
I think it would be very interesting. Yeah, it would be very interesting.
He could skip Aga in theory. Yeah. In theory. Okay, you heard it.
I think it's very, by the way, nice and really nice hook speed here on the lane side. We got a lot of good distance. But you are absolutely correct. You know, as you mentioned this before, like we cannot control where the items are placed. In this case, items are included, and big keys are included in the items. If the pot big key shows up, right? If the ice rod, let's say, even shows up. Or something,
oh my
right?
god!
Oh, this is sword on! Oh my gosh! Wow, no, Thieves Town is great. We all love Thieves Town. We got the flippers and we got the blue sword. Everything's coming up blue.
Oh my god, what
is amazing. This is gonna be awesome. This mode is great.
There's no way you find fire out and pot big and swamp, right? There's no way.
Oh, Ravis, ye of little faith in swamp, right? I guess we don't.
We even got the swamp bicky, which makes it even more likely.
Oh yeah. We are diving
Fred is gonna get a cane of Samaria though. That's very, very good to see.
Oh my gosh, dude, Fred. Go Fred. I was a bit worried, even when the flipper showed up, like when you went on to go check Hobo, just because it's very convenient, but Fred is this is a great play on Fred's side to be able to get this. Not only force not isolated, but he's gonna be very, very well rewarded with the King of Samaria.
Yeah, even if he might not need it in the end for like Meyer, still it's good to have. He might be looking for items still in ice at some point. But yeah, the lane has another advantage now because for him, if he finds the Meyer Bicky, that's another crystal that opens up. So he might not even need the pot big and do Meyer instead if he successfully finds the Meyer Bicky.
Right. Oh yes, right. We did beat Aga. Unfortunately, we can't do the entirety of the West Side Breeze. We're gonna have to go through a very pesky Dark World entry. But other than that, I think we go to Gizmits.
I don't like going this way, honestly. I like fluting to 8 or well, okay, he doesn't have flippers to easily use the portal there, I guess. It's whatever. In the end, we can just go.
Yeah.
It's like seconds. It's whatever.
Yeah, no, yeah, this is definitely true. And I think right now, based on, well, okay, again, stuff can happen, in the race. Races that don't look like they're anywhere close to each other have, surprisingly, ended in ties before. But at least, so far, given the differences in what those kids, Fred and Thelaine, have discovered, I mean, it's certainly looking like they're going to probably go for different goals here. But again, we're gonna have to see in this case where the items are gonna show up. It is very exciting, in my opinion, as a spectator, like to be able to see basically like such different possibilities.
All right, we're gonna see the Maya area first and the Tempered Sword. Understandable. I mean, Thelaine, wants to go Thieves Dawn next, probably. I'd assume.
Yeah, we're gonna see what he finds.
I didn't see what Maya was. I tried to.
Oh,
but
I also didn't. Maybe Winfox has, or someone in chat can help us out. I was not paying attention. Didn't see it. It's all fine.
All right. As soon as we find like mids locked Potbig or Firewood, we know the Agaseed is required 100%. Those two have to be pretty much on Fred's way. If like that, the unbelievable moment is gonna happen, then I wouldn't believe it myself. Oh wait, it's Master Sword for the lane right now.
Right. Yeah, we saw all three swords, right? We just haven't been there. Yeah, as you mentioned, we haven't been to Thieves Town yet on the lane side, and we haven't been to Desert Ledge or any actually of the desert area. You actually look, Windfox still doing a great job on here on tracking. We are a no lamp item here on Fred's side. We have not been anywhere in the Desert Palace and/or Mire area.
Yeah. All right. So Fred found 2 items already out of 7.
Yeah, too bad man, if only a compass would help us count.
Oh my god.
Alright, well that looks pretty dang.
No, Fred.
No, Fred. Fred. It's okay. But wow, alright, so it looks like it definitely looks like Swamp Dip is required, which means the back of Thieves Town, right, is also looking pretty good here.
I mean, chat telling me, of course, or probably 100 times that we still need the mids for a GT still. But I mean, in the sense of that, you don't need to check anything behind the mids.
Right.
Actually required in every seed. Like I should have talked more clearly in that point. So apologies on that side. But like the checks that the lane is doing, Fred might never do if he really finds a Potbig here in Swamp.
Yeah. Sorry, right. So I mean, right. So like the converse is that myths not only like we may not need the myths themselves.
Exactly.
Sorry, other than the GT entry, correct? But like all of the stuff that in Dark Death Mountain, Turtle Rock, Mire, the lane is hot. Like as we're kind of watching him, he is definitely chasing a lot more of the myths checks just because he knows that he knows what that item is. He's probably gonna try to press it to his advantage. Fred, if there's nothing behind the myths though, like other than just like our Triforce piece, the lane's kind of wasting his time.
Yeah. I realized the moment I read chat. No worries. We keep track on you, you guys. It's just I didn't speak clearly what I was thinking. All good, but yeah, the lane is gonna get his flippers and his Tempered Sword as well. So he's gonna find his Fire Rod in here as well, and probably it's gonna follow Fred for a longer time.
Also pretty. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say though, this looks like also kind of interesting. So Thelaine, he has been, I would say, probably both of them have been very efficient. Let's at least for the record, Thelaine's probably been a bit more thorough in his travels. He did the vanilla Big Key chest in Eastern. Let's see if he does left side swamp. Fred has notably skipped both. We're going to see what I guess comes out. I think that there's still at least one item on left side. I guess maybe I should have been counting first. The Swamp Big Key was trying to think.
It was rather early. I think it was.
Oh, it was an Eastern. Yeah, it was an Armos.
Oh,
yeah, so he should have it. There's no way that he can leave without that thing. All right, but so we're also kind of seeing, again, we're kind of seeing in this case some of the convenience though that the mids have afforded. Just like kind of the flute was very useful for the lane overworlds travel, compared to Fred, saving a good chunk of travel time. We're seeing Fred again trying to enter Dark World without mids. I mean, again, it's not the end of the world, right? It's just the more times you do it, especially without mids, the longer these things are gonna basically add up and catch up to him. But we've got the fire rod, we've got a master sword, even much better than that temper sword. We got the hammer, got half magic. Fred is gonna be looking to maybe join team Maltabashin here just in a sec. All right. Meanwhile, though, the lane, he's gonna get all of his goodies here in back of Thieves Town. He's gonna get his flippers. He's gonna get his tempered sword off of blind. And as you mentioned, though, like kind of based on what was in Thieves Town, and kind of like where that has. Oh, what the is Flint stuck? He was stuck.
He was for a
He
moment.
has, you know that strat that you were talking about. If you accidentally fall down, into Ganon, the fastest way was going to just die to him. I think Delane might have heard, taken a page out of that book and just decided to fall on the conveyor belt, and that was the fastest way to get out of that situation.
Luckily, the developers at the game thought ahead and were like, okay, what if someone gets encircled from such a moment, and then you get back to the room beginning.
Hilarious.
All right, so the lane about to get the tempered sword. Fred is going to finish his fourth crystal here.
Yeah, so actually very, very quick. All right, yeah, so it looks like on Fred's side we have Pyramid Fairy available. That's going to be one of our, and of course the lane when he eventually gets there with the Fire Rod. That's going to be one of our Triforce pieces, and it's certainly looking like that we're going to go for the other crystals as well.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, well, oh, right. So mid's definitely locked her to rock. Oh, well. Do you think Fred's going to finally go get his lamp?
He will be at some point.
Well, he just picked up a book, so...
Yeah, but, what's it gonna do for him, right? He's gonna go desert, he's gonna do Agina, get his lamp. Question is, he's probably gonna do Bombo's tablet and Ether tablet also before doing Aga. Because, I think Aga is gonna be the last thing he's gonna do as, the moment he's not having anything open anymore.
Oh yeah. Of course, that's one of the benefits is that the myths thankfully lock lots of content in this game, and so hopefully at least if you're gonna be basically in myths go mode, the locations in which the myths can be located is certainly very, very limited.
So what's gonna be on the smith? It's gonna be a shield smith today. So those are the checks that Fred could not do when he finished Thieves Town. Because of not having the mids yet. We're gonna see that Bombo's tablet right now. And I assume we're gonna see the lane in Ice Palace very, very soon. Not having the big key right now, but, he's looking for one of two big keys. So Ice Palace is not really that needed. And I think having Red Bomb done right, there's one chest that has the Triforce piece, and the other one is still a random item, right? If I remember correctly.
Yes,
I played this mode, by the way. No, but so there could still be something next to the Triforce piece that they want. And Fred might even check it right here. And I wish he knew what is on the Lumberjack ledge, so he would just go for Aga at this point. But unfortunately, looks like it's gonna be Red Bomb for now, and then we're gonna go from there somewhere. Probably Ether Tablet out soon, and Spy Cave. All right, so the lane here in Swamp's gonna get his Fire Rod. And we'll also get his next crystal here, number 3. Probably gonna follow up with what's there as well. So we're gonna see the first Triforce piece on Fred's side. Right
yeah,
here.
I was actually gonna. Yeah, and actually, oh my gosh, I was just thinking, like, okay, I think there is, merit in order to check Pyramid Fairy first, before endgame, because there is another item located that's not, the Triforce piece in Pyramid, and oh my gosh, we found the Ice Rod.
This changes things somewhat, right? That adds a third big key to the Go Mode list, right?
Yeah,
Desert Big Key is also a Go Mode item right now.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Unless
Fred's probably wondering right now where these myths are.
Yeah, but I mean, unless Todoroki is bombos, I assume, well, the lane is gonna probably do Skywoods afterwards and then do the red bomb as well. And then it's pretty much the same situation, except the lane has the mids already and Fred still has to do Aga. Where Fred is like running out of locations right now, like imagining that he still has to do Aga right now, I feel like I could give the lane a good advantage right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I think, were we talking about potentially something, I think maybe Windbox mentioned this, like he's going to be in Go mode? Yeah, once he picks up the Fire Rod? I think, yeah, I see other people also in chat talking about this as well.
Wait, what?
Because Link got the Fire Rod, so he can, I think he can actually just beat the other 3 crystals, right? He's got Swamp, ready to go. Right. He can get to Ice Palace, and then what other dungeon can he can do? Oh, Skywoods. Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah, right. It's just it's just mid. You're right.
Amazing, actually. Yeah, we should probably see him. Okay, so I guess like the skip. So yes, the lane is skipping left side Swamp is definitely the right call. I'll see it's certainly on Fred's side. The lane's also got Temper now because Fred's gonna get this very relatively shortly because he's gonna claim for it. Keep in mind that this mode is specifically Champions Ganon Hunt, not just Champions Hunt, and that you might have seen in ladder before. For a league, you do in fact have to defeat Ganon after like the actual boss itself after you 2 Triforce pieces, and so in that case it's very, very helpful to have a Tempered Sword versus, let's say, a Master Sword. Yeah,
we saw a very, very nice quick kill here on the lane side on Argus. All right, Fred is gonna get his lamp right now. I still think he's gonna check Ether Tablet before I do an Aga.
Really? Oh, Fred. Sorry, I'm looking at. I'm like staring at the lane. I'm like, why is he doing any more checks, especially Ether? I think you might be right though. So actually, man, if you're a Fred and you maybe think that something is on Aga, would you just go rush on Lumberjack? Would you just go rush Aga? Looks like the answer is no. Oh yeah. At least on Fred's side.
He's checking it right now.
Yeah, that looks like it too. I'm just trying to think now, like what does Fred have left, which that he can have access to. Yeah, you're right.
But not having the lamp for a long time made him not check Agaledge, and he's gonna be very disappointed to see what he's seeing.
Yeah. It's I think maybe also we can see maybe a teammate or so of Fred sitting in chat for as members of the bomb squad may not necessarily be the greatest feeling to go see what mids are on Lumberjack. But at least Fred has some direction to go in this case.
Yeah, I mean that puts Fred also on Go mode pretty much.
Yeah, actually, is it actually? Yeah, it is mid Go mode for Fred, right? Because he can get into Ice Palace, and that's his last crystal. So, it is. So yeah, I guess the good news for Fred is that it is mid Go mode. He doesn't have to go check anything behind mids. Ice Rod was just a comedic effect when he got the Pyramid Fairy crystal. But yeah, in this case, like I still have to climb Aga Tower and then go and get the mids. I think that's going to probably be a little bit still slower than the lane finishing up. Looks like Ice Palace and Skullwoods.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say so I think Fred's path to finishing Aga Tower and then getting his mids and then going to Ice Palace is probably still going to be a little bit slower than the lane's path, to basically finishing Ice Palace and Skullwoods.
Yeah, I mean the fight of Aga just takes some time. You have to still get the mids actually from Lumberjack. Like
Mm-hmm,
I can almost think about the lane being faster done with Morphula than Fred, you know, having his mids in his own hands. Since the lane is already at cold stand, I'm sure it's going to be a very quick fight here. It's going to be a very quick Skullwoods as well.
Yeah. And I mean, while like yes, a Temper Sword does make a difference, I certainly would expect the lane's fight to be a bit just a little bit faster than Fred's. Even though I mean, nothing about Fred's fight itself is just the lane has tempered, and certainly very, you know, like once you put tempered and boots in either of these guys' hands and feet, it's basically, you know, we saw certainly the lane did a very nice job with the 0 cycle Argus with Temper Swords, so certainly we'll have expect no less basically for Mothula himself. Yeah, the lane's definitely doing, you know, he played very well today. Certainly, you know, probably hedged some of his decisions. Staying in logic, I think you mentioned that before, especially in Light World, just a little bit longer probably than what Fred did. It looks like, you know, that kind of basically set up a really nice foundation, you know, for the lane to basically, you know, kind of sail through the seed. All right, we are here watching Fred get through the end of Aga. It's okay. I still respect the waiting in the corner for Fred. But as you mentioned, we're gonna go through the motions of the Aga fight. Probably not much you can do to speed things up. I have been told that you can try and knock Aga into the center of the room. Hopefully, in terms of just trying to minimize his teleport distance, I guess.
Yeah,
other than that.
Well, that goes for the most part. Like you don't know where he's gonna teleport to, so you try to keep him in the middle, so at least you're guaranteed a somewhat short way. That said, that doesn't go for every fourth ball, of course, because like then he's gonna go to the top right now.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, you can only say that the first one is guaranteed, so you can, you know, place yourself a bit more like you know you're gonna not gonna get blue balled here if you're low HP, but other than that, it's like, yeah, push him in the middle and see what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think we all kind of saw this on, you know, the lane side earlier when he first did Aga. There were quite a few number of blue balls. That's certainly going to be kind of like the limiting factor in terms of time spent basically on this fight. Yeah, we already kind of see basically the lane is already, you know, at the back of Skullwood's gonna go defeat Mothula, and he just needs to go collect his 2 crystals Triforce pieces. We do have to go climb, in this case the mountain, to go explore GT basement. We don't know where it is. The lane's got and Fred, they've got everything in this case to fully open up GT basement. They've got the King of Samaria for right side. They've got the hammer and hook shot, and then, you know, fire rod and all the good jazz as well. So no limitations basically as to where the Triforce piece can be. We're all hoping for is just like in, like, you know, Hope Room or something, right? Or in, you know, on the torch. Yeah, so at this point, yeah, just maybe, you know, just as a point of reference, looks like the lane's gonna make his way up the mountain for GT. Fred is just grabbing his mitts, so he's about 1 Ice Palace, in this case, behind. Kind of, yes. I won't necessarily say that, like, you know, the decisions that you make, you know, in the first, let's say, couple minutes of your seed really, you know, basically kind of drives the results of this particular race. Lumberjack chests do not have to be this punishing. I'm sorry, Ravis, if this hits too close to home, maybe for some things that you have seen, but it certainly, if there is something pretty important there, you know, it might, well, certainly affect the decisions and the execution of the rest of your gameplay for that seed. If you're down that knowledge that, let's say, something, you know, like the mitts or like maybe like the mirror or some very major item basically is on Lumberjack.
So yeah, Fred, I mean, is pretty much one Ice Palace behind the lane right now. Rather hard to see how Fred is going to come back, but things happen sometimes, you know?
Oh, for sure. I mean, you should never ever discount end game stuff. I mean, you know, part of this also is the Ganon fight itself, I certainly would expect probably nothing to go wrong for both Elaine and Fred given their equipment. However, that being said, you know, never discount the Ganon fight. And then in this case, let's see where in this case the Triforce piece is. You know, it can just like I guess maybe traditional, you know, GT big key guessing game S type of thing. GT routing potentially can have an impact. Let's say, but in this case, like we'll see. The lane's gonna just take his regular route, probably going to. Well, I don't know if he has regular route actually. Sorry. Haha, very funny. There's a big key on the torch. All right, we can see in this case where this Triforce piece is. If you guys want to make a wager. All right, we already passed one. We have no compass to count along with, so we're gonna have to, you know, count together, you know, as one collective unit. That's 2.
Yeah, and also no keys yet, but I assume
Yeah,
the line is gonna
true.
mirror regardless. Only 1 key here.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, and I guess like this, yeah, it's very basically similar. Instead of looking for a big key, you're just looking for the Triforce piece. And well, you do have a small key here, so at least people won't get locked out. If you go to Hope Room first, you won't get locked out of Compass Room immediately.
Yeah, I think there has to be a small key here, either like either in Tile Room or in the double fireball room.
Oh, because of the
keys early, wasn't there something like that?
I'm sorry.
I think we need 3 keys early, something like that. Maybe I'm wrong without the GT big key here in place. But
I don't actually know how the logic, I guess, is affected because the GT big key is just taken out of the pool to begin with, so it doesn't even exist. So we can't even get upstairs if we wanted to. So I guess I don't know like what, you know, if that means anything for like small keys, like beatable only or anything like that.
Oh, there it is.
Look, we found our really odd-looking big key that's in the shape of a triangle. It's the same color. At least they didn't change that. I'm not sure what.
That was number 11, if I recall correctly.
Okay. Thank you for counting.
I think it was like 5 on the left side and 6 on the right side.
We're doing math. Okay, all right. We had 1 on the torch, plus 4 in Stalfos Room, plus 5, and then we had 2 at Homebrew, is 7, and then yeah, it's the last one. So thanks. Nice. All right, okay, so we are basically 1 Pyramid Fairy, 1... Well, okay, I don't know if the lane's gonna pick up the Ice Rod is in the right chest. I believe, at least for the ladder mode, the Triforce Beam is always fixed on the left chest. So
in this one, it was on the left as well, so I assume it's gonna be the same here.
It's gonna be the fixed, okay. So yeah, so the lane may not even know about the Ice Rod here in Pyramid Fairy.
You might open it for funsies if he's like feeling it.
All right. Well, nice bomb dupe on the lane side. We're also experiencing part of the tournament branches slow down once we get to the screen with too many sprites. Yeah. Also, PSA, by the way, and while it probably won't necessarily come into play, you know, there have certainly been instances where runners were not in the best of financial shape when they're trying to make a purchase in these things. You know, again, Pyramid Fairy, you know, being, I would say, probably more endgame, you know, probably have just scrounged up enough funds, you know, in order to go pay the big bomb guy, but still, always just be conscious that if you're going to do Pyramid Fairy, you are going to need 100 rupees.
So, I have a question. I've never tried that, but maybe someone in chat can answer. If you pick up the bomb and save and quit, do you start on the pyramid with the bomb?
That's a great question. That's a great question. I have no idea.
You lose the bomb? Okay.
Okay.
Because like I was just thinking about that because I didn't have any Aga seats in my practice seats yet, and I was like, is that possible?
Yeah, I guess these are the kinds of things that I don't know. These situations don't come up very often, I guess. I don't know if they necessarily.
We saw a Bicky on the torch, by the way, right? So
yeah, yeah. I want to assume that it's probably like I don't know, like well, when we have the Turtle Rock Bicky, maybe Desert Bicky. I guess we'll never find out.
Yeah. One of the remaining ones. There are a couple out there.
Could be Ice
Lane already in phase 4. I think one silver arrow in.
Okay.
Let's go see if this double is enough. Nope.
Not quite. It looks like Fred's also going to take a very similar route to GT.
It doesn't look like it. It looks like Fred is gonna do the
Oh,
random.
never mind. We're gonna delay that GT. Sorry, the Triforce piece, not the BK, just a little bit
Yeah,
longer on Fred's side.
GG's to the lane at this point, right? He's about
Oh,
to
for
finish
sure.
the game right now.
No, big GG Selene. I think, again, he played the seed very well. I don't know if there's like, this seed is maybe like this mode has been around or had that much exposure in terms of, people kind of developing like metas or, what's considered to be, kind of like good versus bad, let's say, like good decisions versus right decisions. But the lane certainly did a very nice job this time. 113 is very respectable time for these two goals.
Fred for a moment stopped playing, probably saying GG's in the chat before continuing, as good sportsmen do.
Yeah, no. For the record, like both Fred and the lane are absolute stand-up guys. Like these guys are very courteous, very respectable. Certainly shows very good sportsmanship, as you said. All right, let's see if we can maybe get the lane in here to maybe chat with us a little bit. Certainly fine if he doesn't decide to, basically pass on the interview as well. All right. Well, okay. So Ravis, what did you think about? It looks the big.
Desert big.
It's desert big. Okay. Well, I guess you think it's Meyer big, maybe.
That could be. But I know what's here, and that's the lane. GG's.
Yo, the lane. GG's.
GG's.
Yeah. So I guess like, how did you feel? I guess like kind of playing the seed. Checking the. So it turns. I don't know if you and Fred chatted a bit. Turns out that knowledge that mids were on Lumberjack was very useful for you. Certainly, I guess got you. I think a good leg up on a lot of the stuff that you did.
Yeah. I mean, this time didn't even have to chat in race time for that to happen, I guess. So I take it.
Yeah. I mean, one of the differences here were definitely that you checked Lumberjack, and Lumberjack having the mids was something that Fred found out very late because he hasn't found that lamp very long. So turns out that Fred is doing a lot of stuff before getting his mids. He found a lot of stuff before finding his mids because mids were his go mode.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, you didn't make too many mids checks yourself, and got your flippers and found the fire rod and were in go mode in the end.
Yeah, I was wondering when I found the flippers and then the fire rod, I was like, can you do this without mids, maybe? But I don't think it was possible. I mean, maybe if you found like, maybe if you found like another Bicky to pod, right? I think that would be possible.
No, I was saying that the entire game, which I didn't even mean. You still would have done to do Aga because you have to go to GT still, right? That has your Triforce piece, and without them you can't enter GT.
Yeah.
If you look back at the race, like I said that the entire time without even meaning that. I was trying to tell people that like Fred might do no mids checks at all, and having mids go mode, and it was like item for item. While you were doing Agatha, he was doing thieves, and he suddenly found the flippers. Then he got a master sword, and like it felt almost like you could like go mode mids here, and it was in the end for Fred. But yeah, no, you still had to do Aga regardless.
Yeah, but I felt like I don't know, like a little bit behind after finding Cape and Thief so big, like super late, right? So I was like, what if you go to part like super early? And I sure thought about it after getting Hype Cave. I was like, what if I just run to part now? But didn't follow through with it because there was like a lot of other good stuff available as well.
Yeah. So did you talk to Zaha? And if you would have known that Green Pendant Turtle Rock is here in this seed, would you have finished Tower of Hera there still?
Yeah. I mean, it's 3 items in this mode, right? Because the big key is shuffled, and I only had 2 at that time. So why not?
Fair. Because like Fred was very funny. He placed a bomb on Zaha, not checking him, and then, you know, when you both entered Dark World at some point, it's like, oh, Turtle Rock is green pendant, huh? That is not fun. Having like Desert and Hera as probably more of the easier pendants to finish if you get the big key for Desert.
Yeah, I thought so earlier. I was like, Hera and Desert, that might be like a good pendant, like Triforce piece this time.
And so
But yeah,
to Fred real quick, just finishing the seed. Yeah, go ahead.
I think I played like 2 practice seats or maybe 3 and this one right now, and none of them like in none of them you wanted to do the pendants, which is funny. So I mean, obviously not like a huge sample size, but I think at least from my experience, it usually comes down to just doing 5 crystals and getting to Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the right chest of the Pyramid Fairy had the ice rod, by the way.
Oh, okay. That's funny.
Yeah, we were actually wondering if you're gonna open that, but you were already in go mode, and I don't know if you necessarily felt you could spend another 3 seconds opening that thing. But
Nah. Again, I felt like I was like not in a good spot with the Thief Sound Big and the Cape for Agar Tower. So and then also made like, you know, small mistakes here and there, so gotta make up that time somewhere. No time for memes.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, you played the seed. It looks like, you know, quite well. Delayed, I guess. I think another one of probably things that benefited you was you try to stay a little bit more in logic in Light World, just delayed things a little bit longer. And you know, I think you got the Cane of Samaria much earlier than Fred as well. So I'm not sure if it necessarily like, strictly benefited you, but I mean, still, like, I think it was very good on Fred to kind of do Hobo like as one of his kind of like one-off checks after he got flippers. But I mean, like, that wasn't a concern for you, right? So you just kind of had it already, you know, with you.
Yeah, now that you say that, it could have also been very possible for me to never check Hobo, and I would like not be able to do right side GT. So.
Oh, that's a great point. I forgot that Samaria was required for right side GT. Oh yeah, that would have been kind of awkward. You get all the way to GT, you get your 5 crystals, and now it's on you're on a Samaria. Man, that would feel kind of bad.
Yeah, that would have been not great, and I can see myself skipping Hobo.
Yeah. And for Fred, it's like, I think he checked Lumberjack when he only had Ether Tablet and Spike Cave left. I don't even remember where the book was right now. It was rather
on
like...
Mothula.
Oh, was
right?
on Mothula? Oh, okay. But yeah,
Mothula or Coldstare. One of those. It was on one of the bosses.
I think it was Moth, yeah.
Mothula.
Yeah, it can't be Coldstare. It was he
right. Yeah, it was. That's right. Yeah, it was very late.
Yeah, I mean, that difference of a Lumberjack check was pretty huge in this seed, I'm not gonna lie. I understand why you don't want to check Lumberjack, specifically in this mode. But in this one, I mean, mids is like, okay, this is hard required. No way around it. Well,
I mean,
for this one at least.
I mean, I'm just gonna repeat the same thing I said in the match against Hitsu. I think if you have like a boot start, just go and check it real quick. Like, what's the harm, right?
Not a big deal. I agree.
Yeah, especially in this case, it was a huge benefit. So, but yeah, great job, Elaine. I think this will put your team further up. So Resi, I think, is playing later this week, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, certainly, yeah. Best of luck, I think, to Resi, and I think it's Killer App versus Resi. I want to say Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and of course, you and Fred. Thank you guys so much for racing. It was I think this was a really interesting race to watch because you guys were just so different in terms of your decisions and what your possibilities were for the entire time. So thank you guys so much for letting us restream you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for commentating and tracking and putting up the restream as usual. It's very appreciated.
Well, this was all Ravis's idea, so thank you so much, Ravis. This was a blast as always. I really want to say thank you so much to Windfox. Actually, very last minute tracker hero swooping in here. Definitely was not expected, but very much appreciated for clicking all of the buttons for us and being around. So thank you so much. It was a great time, Ravis. And again, thank you so much. It was a blast.
Yeah, thank you everyone. And I'm looking at the schedule right now. There's gonna be, I think there's still gonna be matches today. Yeah, we have right now one on SG2. There's gonna be another one here, right on this channel, in roughly 35 minutes ish, at 2:10 p.m. Eastern, and later at 8:40 p.m. Eastern, we still have another match on SG2. Jet versus Gmo as well. So if you want to see more Rando and also Champions Hunt, you're perfectly fine to stay here or go to SpeedGaming too. And with that, Clemos, thank you for commentating with me, and thank you to everyone else involved. GG's to the lane once more, and see you next race.
All right, see ya.